Welcome back. This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And we're going to talk about Hamfest for a few minutes here. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and ugly as far as I'm concerned. Your requirements could be totally different. So I went to a little Hamfest this weekend. It's only about 10 miles from me. They have it, I think, 2 or 3 times a year. It's put on by one of the local ham radio clubs, and it's put on in a park, open park, and there's no cost to set up if you're selling, and there's no cost if you are just a buyer and want to come to the Hamfest. So it's free, free, free. And the club that sponsors the Hamfest and puts out the ads and has a small concession there is basically just doing this for fun. And they have a small concession which they make a few dollars to support the club. Typically, and I go to at least 2 out of 3 of those every year because it is close by. Typically, there is 25 to 30 people set up to sell. So it's fairly small. But most of those people have quite a bit of stuff. This year, I was overwhelmed. When I got there, it's touted as starting at 8 o'clock. But it's at a park, like I say, and it starts when they open the gates of the park, which is sunrise, which is about 7 o'clock around here right now. And I got there at 7:20, which I thought was plenty early to get the bargains and see people setting up and stuff like that. Well, it was already set up. And there were already a number of people, not a lot of people buying, but mostly people were setting up or had already set up. And I would guess there was already 40 to 50 people already set up to sell. And these were just, individuals selling their stuff. And I stayed there for an hour. I stayed there till about 8:30. And by that time, they had about 60 to 70 people selling. They had so many people that people were setting up in the parking lot because the area for the grounds where they normally set up was full. They ran out of space. So it was a very good Hamfest. Small, but still very good. Now, I would categorize that Hamfest under the good, bad, and ugly, good. And the reasons that I would say that was good is, number one, it's close by. So if I don't find anything, I haven't wasted a lot of time and gas getting there. Number two, it's free. Free for the seller, free for the buyers. And I need to start going there and sell stuff. But I usually don't find out about it until like the day before. So that's another reason it was good. The key thing for me for making a Hamfest good, even if none of those other attributes are met, is if I find at least one thing that I was looking for at a good price. That, to me, even if it's one thing and it cost $1, that was a good Hamfest. So that's my criteria. A bad Hamfest is one that I have to drive a long ways or get a ride to. It's a long ways away. We have a big Hamfest in Orlando in February of every year, and it's a huge Hamfest. There are hundreds of people set up to sell. There are thousands of people that attend. It's huge. But it's a 90-mile drive or ride each way for me. So that's bad. It costs, I think, $12 to $15 to get in for the weekend. It's 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's expensive. So if you don't find anything, you've already spent a lot of money on gas and you spent your time and you spent money getting in. So that's another negative. And then of course the last one is if I don't find anything. Now another that I forgot about, another thing that makes a good Hamfest, if I see people that I know that I haven't seen in a long time and I get a chance to talk to them, that makes a good Hamfest. Even if I don't buy anything, even if I had to travel a long distance and it costs me to get in, if I meet somebody I haven't seen in a long time, that's a good Hamfest. A bad Hamfest is when I go and I don't see anybody I recognize, which is happening more and more as I get older. An ugly Hamfest is a Hamfest the weather is bad. Now, Orlando is in February, and about 50% of the time, the weather is either not too good or bad. Not too good meaning it's cold. I can live with that. Not too good or bad is it's raining and cold. That's an ugly Hamfest. And plus I don't find anything and all the bad things I mentioned before. So those are the categories. This little Hamfest I went to this weekend, I would consider a good Hamfest. And it was a good Hamfest because it was local, it was close by, it was free, and there was lots of stuff there, lots of people are selling, and I found at least one thing I was looking for. So that was why I'm calling this a good Hamfest. I'm going to show you here in a second what I found. Now, you may not say, oh, big deal, you found those things, big deal. Well, there were things I was looking for. So, let's go on. Let's open the bag here, and let me show you what I found. Nothing spectacular. Okay, here's one thing I found. This is, and let me zoom in. This is, oops, upside down. This is a fairly inexpensive antenna switch. Three connections, either to 3 radios or 3 antennas, depending on which to one. There's a switch here, and I don't know if this is any good. I really don't know. Really, no simple way to test it. I didn't bring my meter with me, so I couldn't test continuity. But I've been looking at this particular one on Amazon for quite a while, and I couldn't. I'm like, it doesn't look that great, but the connectors look okay, but I don't know what's inside. I don't know. And it's $17 on Amazon. So I got this for $1. I figured for $1, it's worth a try. And so what I will be doing, the first thing I'll be doing is I will be looking to see, yes, it's going to be a little complicated, but I'm going to look and see what it takes to get this cover off so that I can see what's inside and see if any of the connections are burnt out due to hooking up a big transmitter to this. And I'm only going to use it for a receive. So this will, if I can get it open, this will give me an opportunity to see if this particular switch is any good and whether I should put it in my Amazon store. So that's one. Okay, then I found another switch, different person, and this is made by Pace, which used to, I don't know if they still do or not, used to make CB radios and accessories for CB radios. So this has got this big wheel on it, and same configuration, 3 ins or outs and 1 in or out. And it feels pretty good. The box looks like it's pretty easy to get into. So once again, I can open this up and look inside and see if it's damaged. So that's 2 of those. I'm guessing that this one will actually be better than the 2 because I think this one originally sold for about $50 or $60 from Pace. Again, it was designed for CB radios. Then I actually found 2 people that were selling stuff from Radio Shack. You know, the Radio Shack stores have closed out, and they had a big closeout emptying their stores. I went there and I got a bunch of cable. But my stores were pretty picked over, so I didn't have too many choices. This one gentleman had all kinds of piece parts in these little bags. And so I was looking through I was looking through the bag for connectors. He didn't have any connectors. But I did find some alligator clips. These were $1 a bag. I would have gotten more, but he had all these things in the plastic shoe boxes, and they were laying on the ground, which meant you have to bend way over to look through them. And after about 2 minutes of me bending over with my bad back, I was hurting too much, so I quit looking. So that was that one. And these were only $1 a piece. Another guy had them, and he was asking $1 a piece, which even $1 a piece, that was a good deal. Okay. The last item I found, well, actually, I didn't find this. The gentleman that was selling this stuff was also selling used tubes. And he was a nice guy, and I guess it was maybe for one of his first sales or something. He says, I'll throw in a tube, pick any tube and it's yours. And I said, okay, I want the biggest tube you've got. Whether it works or not, I don't care. I just want a big tube. Well, I didn't get the big one I wanted, but I got this one. So here's the tube I got. This is just for looking at. It's not that it's going to be used or anything. Pretty good sized tube. Well, I was looking for one of those old transmitter tubes. Those things are huge. They're about, a foot tall. That's what I was looking for. He didn't have any of those. So I got that for free. That's what I got. So based on the fact that I got 5 items, I would consider that a good Hamfest. If I only got one item, say I got one of these switches. Oh, by the way, I paid $1 for this one and $5 for this one. That would still make it a good Hamfest. So that's my basic definition of Hamfest: good, bad, or ugly. That's it. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. And I don't know if I'll record, but I might record opening these guys up, and because it'll take me a while, and see what's inside, see if they're burnt out. Have a good day. Bye-bye.